Hello everyone, this is really quick, and I was going to do this as a short, but I kept running over, so I'm just going to do it normal. So we'll see, it'll probably be just a very quick 2 or 3 minute jobby. But basically, I've just watched Michael K. Vaughan's video, So Many Books, So Little Time. I'm the same age as Mike, so I absolutely get what he's saying, that if you look at how long you might have left. I've also got a medical thing that makes me wonder if I've got even less. I don't know. I can feel the Grim Reaper staring at me. But anyway, there are so many books I want to read, and there's so many books that I talk about that I'm going to read. So many books that other people on BookTube talk about that I want to read, and there is so little time. And also, there's other things that I'm not going to not do. So obviously, I've got my band, and I have to keep my job and all that sort of stuff, which I do like. I do enjoy my job, so it's not about that. But you know, you can't just say, well, just spend all my time reading. You know, we can't all be Henry Bemis before he breaks his glasses. So yeah, the idea that there's all that pressure to try and read what you can get read before you go is a real one. I don't think it's about BookTube giving you the pressure, although you know you do. There's a lot of people that talk about how fast they read, but then it's not really about that so much, because I think there's a pressure that you put on yourself because you want to read these books. So I do think that's more important. That's more about what it is. And when you've got a BookTube channel, obviously you're making it more public because you're talking about the books, and you'd like to talk about these books that you've not read yet. So I do think BookTube creates that kind of pressure. And especially if you want to buddy read something, or people are doing a readathon and you want to join in on that. You know, the historathon that I'm doing is quite different from me. I'd let non-fiction go for quite a while after being so heavily steeped in it when I was doing my degree. So because I left it and I'm going back to it, it's quite an unusual thing for me. So I'm enjoying it, but it's definitely a different experience. So I'm not reading just wall-to-wall fiction, which I was reading. So that's to join in on the historathon, which I think is a fantastic event, and I'll be doing more videos on that. I did a couple of videos on it at the beginning, but we're getting to the end of the first quarter, so I'll be doing some stuff in March on that, on what I've been reading in the first quarter. But the point is, you know, it's good to join in on these things, so that kind of adds an extra element to what you might just want to read for choice. So yeah, it is a problem, and I will be specifically talking about what I've been reading and what I've not been reading, and also talking about the 25 book Read What You Own challenge as well tomorrow on the live stream. So I'm hoping some people nip in and say hello and give me their opinions about it, because the Read What You Own challenge has been extremely challenging for specific reasons, which I'm going to go into tomorrow, and it does relate to the fact that you know, life is short, and how restrictive do you want to be? How many rules do you want to put on yourself? You know, that kind of thing. Don't know. Anyway, check out Michael K. Vaughan's video. I'm going to link it below. You've probably seen it already, but I'm going to link it below anyway. He's always amazing when he does his videos. And he said that nobody watches his comic book videos. I watched it. I thought it was a really good video on Daredevil. I thought it was really interesting. I think Daredevil has obviously become much more real for the people who don't read comic books because of the Netflix series, which is one of the best things that's appeared on television, full stop. And I don't think Daredevil really hit the non-comic book reader as much with the Ben Affleck one. But definitely everybody was talking about the Netflix series, so I think that did a lot of good for the comic book character. But yeah, I mean, I read those kind of comics more when I was younger. I didn't read Daredevil, so that was a new one for me. But anyway, it was a really good video that he did on it. So if you want to check that out, and go for it. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say for a minute. A very quick one, saying that I absolutely get it. It is. I'd love to know what you think about this idea that, you know, when you get over 50, you know that you're not on borrowed time exactly. That's a bit dramatic, but it's not the same as when you're in your 20s thinking, oh, what am I going to read? You know, and you know you've got your whole life ahead of you. We haven't got our whole life ahead of us. Technically, probably less than half of our life ahead of us. And who knows? Maybe only 10 years.